Hi and welcome to day 9 of our 12 days of Christmas. Well, today we're using some dies and glitter and a punch, and we're creating something that I call traditional, classic, clean and simple. If there's such a thing. But trust me, it's going to be a lot of fun. So here are the supplies you'll need to create this card. A piece of pattern paper from the Believe collection by Basil, and this one just happens to be called Believe. The branch punch by Martha Stewart. The small Madison window die by Memory Box. The Christmas tree die by La La Land Crafts. Warm Highlights microfine glitter. Bright gold borderline tape by Sticks 2. Sequin tape, some bling. The festive details sticker sheet by Authentic. Foam adhesives and your regular adhesive. Glossy accents. As for the cardstocks and papers, you'll need a piece of 4 1/4 by 11 that you will fold in half at the 5 1/2 inch mark. A piece of green cardstock that measures 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. A piece of white cardstock that measures 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. A piece of burgundy red cardstock that measures 2 3/4 by 4. 2 pieces of white cardstock that are large enough to accommodate your dies. And some leftover green cardstocks, enough to punch out 14 branches out of the branch punch. I'll start by adding my sequin tape to the white cardstock for the tree because we're going to glitter before we actually cut out the piece. And cut this piece out. Next we're going to glitter our cardstock, so I have the Warm Highlight microfine glitter at the ready. And my big fluffy brush. I'm going to uncover the adhesive and pour some warm highlights all over that. And I'm going to burn this just with my fingers. My piece is all burnished well and all glittery, so now I'm going to die cut the tree. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to die cut the window. So there's a window and the tree. I'm going to use my paper piercer to remove the tree. This is what the little holes in the back are for. Beautiful, all glittery. I just realized also that when you die cut a piece that's been glittered, the pressure of the machine embeds the glitter even more on the tape, and this piece is just so smooth to the touch. It's past velvet. It's like silk. It's just amazing. Next I want to bring in my borderline tape, which is a gold tape, and I noticed that there's different sizes on one roll, so I'm going to use the smallest size, and I will just add a little bit at the top, right at the edge of the window. I'll just trim the end here. And I'll add one more strip on the other side. The tape is permanent, but it gives you a little bit of time to put it in place. And you can also, if you don't press hard enough, like if you don't press really hard, you can also remove it and reposition it. So that gives you a little bit of metallic accent on the window. Now we're going to cut, or we're going to punch our branches, and I need 14, and so I'm going to use leftover green cardstock to do that. Of course, if you want more branches, you can go ahead and do that. We need to cut one more thing. We need to cut the backing of our window, which will be kind of like the inside of the house. And for this, I have the Believe paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this over an area that I want to show through the window, using the window that we just created with the die. And I think I want something like this here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pencil mark to where I want the piece to show through. I don't know if you can see it. There's one here and one here. So to cut that piece, I'll use these guides, but I do want a piece that measures 2 by 2.5. The next thing I want to do is trim my tree. By trimming, I don't mean to put embellishments on it, but to actually cut it out, because obviously the tree is bigger than the window. So I'm going to use my backing paper just for visual, and I'll sandwich the tree in between. And I don't want the tree right in the center. I kind of want it a bit off. So I'm thinking like this looks good to me. Maybe just a little higher, like that. So I know that I want to cut it here. And if some of the branches, I might even have to cut some of the branches like that. Cut these off. Actually, here, I'll cut these off, and that should do it. So now we're just about ready to assemble the cart. Because the window frame is going to be glued down with some foam adhesive, I can't really glue the backing of the window right directly on the window. I need some space because this is supposed to be a wall and that's the outside window. So again, I'm going to use the frame of the window as a guide. So I want the window to have an equal border on both sides and the top. The bottom is going to be larger, and that's okay because we have something else to put here at the bottom as well as our branches. So I just thought visually it was better this way. So what I did is I sandwiched my pattern paper in the back of the window, and I'll just make sure that the pattern paper in the back is square or straight. And again, I'm going to trace around it. And you can leave those marks afterwards because it's not going to show. We're going to have the window in place. So now I'm going to just adhere that paper to make sure when we put our window, it's perfectly in place. Now that we have this piece together, we can glue all of our cardstock, and then at the end we're going to add the embellishments. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So this is what I have so far. The next thing we're going to glue is the tree, and the tree will be popped Okay, so I've got my foam adhesives, and as you can see, I had to cut some of them to get into the tiny areas. Now I'm going to take the window as well, just to guide me. Alright, so there's the tree. Just wanted to make sure. I think I'm going to cut these just in case they show. Now before we add the window, I don't know if you remember 2 weeks ago we did the accordion flip album, and we made a whole bunch of wooden veneer snowflakes, and I had some leftovers, and I remember telling you that if you have some leftovers you can use them on future projects. Well, today's a future project, and I grabbed that tiny one here, and I'm going to add it to the top of the tree, and look how cute that is. Let me zoom in. Look how cute! So this will be our embellishment, the only embellishment that we're going to use on the tree. For this I'm going to use a glossy accents because we're gluing on glitter, and I want to make sure that it stays. I'm going to put it like this. Just going to hold it in place for a little bit. So while this is drying, I'm going to add the foam adhesives onto the window, and the window is going to be double popped. Now, I do realize that we have a tree in the way, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the foam adhesives on the window itself, on the left side and the top, and then on the right side I'm going to have to add the adhesives right either on the tree or, yeah, on the tree. Okay, so as you can see, I was able to put foam adhesive on the left hand side and the bottom, the top, and then just one on the right hand side here. And I've also added some directly on the tree right here. So this one is double because it's on the cardstock. I have 2 singles here, 1 single here, and the rest on my window frame are all doubles. So now I'm going to, whoop, let's not do that. So I'm just going to center that where I want it, and that looks just about right to me. I'm going to press that down gently. I didn't add any in the middle because that would have been quite the workout. So there's the window, our tree, the star, looking good already. I really like it. Now we're going to add the greenery. So I have all my branches here, and the idea is to have some, most of them actually, cascading, starting from the middle and going out on either side. So just to give you an idea what it would look like, I'm just going to place them randomly just to show you. And you can vary the direction that the branches are taking. So basically it's going to look like this. And for that I'm going to use the glossy accents. Okay, so I'm just placing them haphazardly like that. Don't worry about the placement in the middle because we're going to take this sticker and it will go right over our greenery, and this will complete our card. So let me go ahead and play with the branches for now. So this is what it looks like so far. It just looks like a giant mess in the middle, but we'll cover this up. I'm just going to let it dry for a little bit and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. My ferns or my branches are not quite dry, but I'm too impatient and I want to see this card finished because I am loving it. So I have the sticker here and I left it on the sticker sheet because I'm going to add the bling first. So I've got my Bella bling here and I isolated 2 just regular clear rhinestones. I'm going to add those in lieu oops, of, I think these are meant to be brads through them, but I don't want to poke brads, so I'm just going to use bling, and because we're doing a blingy card. And I'm going to grab this. At first I was going to put more foam adhesive, but I think I'm just going to put a whole whack of glossy accents and just glue it right in there so that it looks as if it's embedded into the branches. Because I mean there's already a lot of volume to the card, so let me just zoom back in here. So I'm going to put quite a bit of glossy accents. And once this is dry, this thing's not going to go anywhere, trust me. Press that down. And I just want to make sure that the sticker is hitting the, yeah, perfect. It's hitting the glossy accents. So there's our card. Oh, I think this is my favorite. It gives me that warm, fuzzy feeling when I look at this. Ooh, I don't mean to brag, but I really, really like this card. I love it, in fact. And as fellow crafters, I'm sure that you've had that feeling before of finishing something and you're not really satisfied with it, or you could have added something. But I have to say, for this card, this is pretty close to what I had in mind, exactly what I had in mind. And I don't know, I just love it. I love the feel of it. I love the accents, the bling. Yeah, that's my style. I like it. I'm gonna try and give you a close-up of that tree, because with the snowflake, it's very glittery, and oh, I'm upset the camera's not, oh, a little bit here, camera's picking that up. But look at that tree, and it does shine so much in person, because we, like I said during the video, we die cutted that thing after we added the glitter, and the glitters got pushed even more into the adhesive, so it's like smooth and glittery. And I love the snowflake, which is a leftover from 2 weeks ago. And I really like the branches. It looks like almost looks like the a Christmas window of a shop, you know, like kind of like those shops that you would find in the countryside. Yeah, as you can tell, I really like it. I like that. I'm quite impressed with the borderline tape. I was a little bit hesitant in using it, but this adds just the right touch of gold. And in hindsight, I probably wouldn't have had to add it at the bottom, but I didn't know where the branches would go. So all in all, I'm really happy. This card would go to somebody very special, because it's a little finicky, but it's so much fun to create. You know, when you get that project where you can just fully focus on it. This is a project that you do when you have a bit of time ahead of you, but the payoff is worth it. So sorry for rambling. I hope that you've enjoyed this. If you have any questions or comments, as usual, leave them below. And tomorrow we're back with day 10. Bye!